Hi everyone, Sean Harris here. Welcome to another episode of Drinkslinger presents Bar Talk. Today we have a special guest, Mr. Dez Jackson from Atlanta.
Good to meet you, brother.
Good to meet you as well. Glad you came through.
Oh yeah, you know that.
How your day been?
Man, it's been a phenomenal day, man. It's been a rough couple of weeks, man, but man, I had a phenomenal day today.
Okay.
I've really been truly good today, man. Like he's always every day, but he was kind of extraordinary. He kind of showed out a little bit today.
Jesus, my homeboy. One of the good days.
Yeah. He had to let me know who he was a little bit today, so we gonna.
Well, speaking of that, tell everyone who you are and what it is that you do, Dez.
Dez Jackson, 34, born in Jackson, Mississippi, raised in Jackson. Then I moved to New Orleans. Stayed down there for a number of years. A place that's very dear to me.
Yeah. We all love New Orleans.
Oh man, but it's dear. I can say New Orleans really made me a man. Like real talk, New Orleans really changed my whole style, how I carry myself, how I move, how I think.
Yeah.
Good friend, real good friend. I consider him like my brother. He was my brother. Ultimately he passed, but before he passed, he gave me a lot of insight about a lot of things, where I view life, what my life could be like if I played my cards right. He just gave me a lot of knowledge and wisdom and understanding about, the game I'm in.
So let me ask you a question. The name of the show is Bar Talk. What makes a good bar experience for you?
Definitely interaction with the people who work there, customer service. I would say that the candor, the empathy of dealing with people that's coming into a place that some people use as a release.
Yeah.
From the real world. They might have a hard day. Somebody may have broke up with their spouse or what have you, or somebody might just be
I came in here to have a good time. I don't want you to be another problem that I have throughout my day.
Right. Somebody may be a goddamn alcoholic and just want to be an alcoholic for the time that they do. So I mean, it's a place, a go-to place.
Okay.
To me, that's what it means. As far as when we're talking about bar.
Yeah, the bar had the same sanctity as the church.
Right.
Let me be who I am.
Yeah, let you come as you are.
As long as I bother nobody else,
come as you are.
Let me be who I am.
Come as you are.
I want a release right now.
Definitely. And that's what it is. Everything is a release. Everybody's looking for something to plug into. And at just that particular time, it's the bar. People are plugging into the bar. So
the bar brings everybody together. The bar transcends race and financial status.
Correct.
Like if you drink, let's just say vodka and cranberry, or a drink is $6.75.
Right.
Most people can afford that.
Right.
So whether you work at Walmart or whether you own, 6 high rises, the bars are coming down.
Right. And race relations either, because if you get the right racist drunk enough, he'll sit down and talk with you and dance with you too.
And we ain't even enemies no more right here. No shots
until it gets over.
What do you prefer when you go out to drink?
Man, well, I was usually, when you're young, man, you just try to go for the vodkas and the Cirocs and, all the popular type of drinks.
Yeah.
But when you get older, you get kind of more dignified. A couple of my friends put me on a cigar game. As you grow older into a gentleman, you start to look at the value of the drinks that you're drinking.
Yeah.
Maybe like your cognacs, your aged whiskeys or bourbons, etc. So I've started looking at more aged products. Like right now, I like what is it? The 12-year. We was just talking about it the other night. Glenlivet.
Glenlivet 12 and the 14.
The 12 and the 14. I love the 12 and the 14 because you can actually taste the difference. Now I can. At first I couldn't. I was just getting drunk. But more, I guess if you become a sipper, more than just drinking to get drunk, if you really want to know what you're drinking, once you sip it and kind of can taste the difference in between.
One of my mentors in life, a dear friend of mine, he passed a couple of years ago. He had pancreatic cancer, Mr. Richard Hartung. He's the one who taught me how to drink scotch. And I told him I didn't like scotch. And he was the bar owner where I was managing.
Yeah.
And he said, "You're drinking it wrong." And I'm like, "What?" He said, "You drinking scotch like it's vodka or like it's cognac."
Right.
He said, "You're supposed to lay scotch across your tongue and let it just, melt in your mouth."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to sip scotch. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And once I started doing that, I started appreciating the good scotch.
But I think a lot of young men, especially young black men, like that's not indoctrinated for us. You know what I mean? Because for one, we don't have, well, I ain't gonna say we don't have, because that would be disingenuous, but the majority don't have that type of gentleman-like figure in their life to teach them about things. It's when they get older, 21 and older now. But when they get older to drink, they're not indoctrinated in that type of mindset. So of course, all of my friends are getting drunk, pissy drunk, drinking vodka, drinking Ciroc, and we see the rappers and all them popping Ciroc, and we just gonna drink everything. Like we don't know it's a difference in between.
If we was all crystalled out,
right?
Before the
find out it was racist.
Well, I mean, that's neither here nor there, because if you're gonna not drink something because it's racist, like you can't drink water. Right. You know, like you're gonna have to stop eating.
Right. But when you get that water bill, you gonna think they racist.
The thing about it is, a good quality drink is just like a good quality cigar.
Right.
It puts you in the moment that where, like when I smoke a cigar and I drink a good bourbon or a good scotch, I'm not doing anything else but that.
Right.
Like I don't drink scotch while I'm changing my oil.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't smoke cigars while I'm at work.
Right. It's
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's for me.
Right.
It's not for anybody else.
Right.
You know, just like your tattoos on your skin, that's for me.
Right.
You know, I don't care if you like my tattoos. These my tattoos.
Right. So let me ask you something. So how long did it take you to learn the difference in between the different vodkas? I mean, the different like cognacs, the different bourbons. How long did it take for you to learn that acquired taste? Since you had a mentor, I didn't have a mentor.
I guess I've never been asked that question, so I don't have a set answer. But if I had to just be honest right now, I couldn't put a time stamp on it because I've been a bartender 20 years. I just made 20 years.
Right.
I started bartending in '99. Like I can honestly say I've been bartending since the '90s.
Yeah.
So I've been behind the wood for 20 years. I've tasted pretty much everything that you can think of.
Right.
You know, like some guys might not buy something that costs $17 because a shot. Because they be like, well, I don't want to spend $17 and don't like it. Well, as a bartender, if I wanted to try it, I just grab the bottle off the shelf, post on that glass, and stick my tongue in it. You know what I'm saying? Like I had freedom of range. You see what I'm saying? So over the years, I've gotten to taste a lot of different bourbons and scotches, and I can't say when my palate was developed, but like I do know the difference between the two. Okay. You know, like most people can taste the peat in scotch because that's what scotch is known for. But I can pretty much tell whether it's an Islay or Speyside or whatever.
And you think that's a craft?
It is definitely. It is definitely. It's like being a master chef. Like someone can bite something and tell you it's got capers in it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or this has nutmeg in it. You know what I'm saying? That's a skill set.
So if let's say like if one of the major cognacs or bourbons wanted to hire you as a taste enthusiast, would you shoot?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. A lot of people don't know this, but I'm actually studying to be an executive bourbon steward right now through the Stave and Thief University. It's a program out of Moonshine University, but society rather. So if the opportunity ever comes, I want to be ready for it more than I want the opportunity to come.
Right.
Because if the opportunity comes and I'm not ready, then it's like pouring water in a bucket with a hole in it.
Because I went to the Kentucky Derby this year. This year, my first year going, and I actually, with the bourbon, with Kentucky and the bourbon being in Louisville, they have a lot of companies there that have bourbon and those type of brands there. And I actually got to visit one of the museums, and I didn't know that it was that serious. Like brewing process is serious.
It's a big deal.
The learning process is like serious. Like it is crazy. Like
shit, I've been studying 4 months. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm nowhere near ready to take the test.
Right.
And Moonshine University is in Louisville.
Yeah.
Funny you mentioned that. And so it's just things like that. One of the things that I pride myself in as a professional bartender is honing my craft. You got some guys that learn a couple basic drinks or the drinks that they serve at their establishment. Well, you have to get outside of the box, because what if you lose your job or you quit your job or you're forced to move out of state because you say your significant other get a better job out there, and you're like, well, I can bartend, I can go anywhere. You get down to a place like New Orleans and you don't know how to make a Sazerac.
Right. And you're stuck on a particular drink that's designated in the area. You're basically not changing up all the time. You know what I'm saying?
You know, and like here, we have a lot of shot bars. You know, bars with, you know, guys that order shots of Jägermeister, Jaeger Bomb, tequila, and they all go for the same thing. Ciroc, Hennessy, you know, not many bourbon drinkers, you know, in the bars out here. You know, good bourbon is hard to come by in a bar here. You know, like maybe where you're from in Atlanta, you probably can go somewhere and there's a wall of bourbon.
It is.
Where we're gonna have to go to like 2 or 3, 4. There are 4 bars here that I know of that have a extensive bourbon selection.
Right.
Everything else is just a run of the mill. Jack Daniel's, Crown Royal, you know, Woodford. You know, you can't even find Basil Hayden.
Do you think that implementing, because it's I guess the cigar culture is not new, but I guess it's new to Jackson. Do you think that implementing the cigar culture?
Well, no, and I would disagree with you respectfully. It's not new to Jackson, it's new to you. You just coming of age.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been smoking cigars 20 years. Well, I apologize, I misspoke. I've been buying them 20 years.
Right.
Before that, I was stealing them from my granddad.
Granddad heard that. I know he come to that door
Yeah,
right now.
well, he knows now. He knows now. And,
well, I guess, let me say this. Let me reiterate this. For the youth, because I see, like, you know, even, you know, me and him, we met at a nice cigar establishment. A lot of young men are getting into it. Do you think that with more young professional men getting into it, do you think that's gonna kind of influence more?
Well, yeah, I can see that happening over time because everything works in tandem. You know what I'm saying? Peanut butter and jelly. Right. You know what I'm saying? Biscuits and gravy. Right. You know, everything works in tandem. Right. So with the popularity, with the newfound popularity of cigar smoking, the bourbon exposure will come with it. Okay. And the scotch as well. Yeah, that makes sense. Scotch as well. But I got a good friend named Mike. Mike is just a vodka guy. You know, like even in the cigar shop, like he cares nothing about bourbon. He don't drink brown. At all.
I don't understand why people don't do that. I used to be like, people used to be like, well, you don't drink the brown, you just drink clear. I can't do that. Like, to me, because I want to be an avid taster of all things to know what I like, you know.
Yeah, and the same is true for cigars. You know, like whenever I hear somebody say, I only smoke this cigar, you're not a cigar smoker. You're smoking band or you're smoking price point. Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. Like, I don't care if it's a Davidoff. If you only smoke Davidoff, you're not a cigar smoker. Right. There's so many cigars out there that you could taste and try and enjoy. Right. So to me, it seems like you're smoking price. Right. And then if you only smoke $4 cigars, you know what I'm saying? You've never had a LFD or a Drew Estate or a Room 101, you smoking price.
Because one thing I noticed about cigars, you can't be no cheap person to smoke cigars unless you're smoking acids.
Acids are good for those who like
even with acids, it's still more price and cost effective. Like, you can't be a cheap person smoking cigars. I mean, it has to be a habitual lifestyle or something that you have to invest in.
Well, I tell people like this all the time because people always hit me with that. You know, like, oh, I know where the money is. Well, I smoke cigars and I drink bourbon. You got a motorcycle and a boat. Right. You see what I'm saying? Like, you spend your money on your vices. Right. I ain't judging you. Like, let me spend my money on my vices. Right. Like,
well, see, you got the cigar, the boat, and...
Well, that's not that. What I'm saying is, if I spend my money on cigars, you might go to the casino and gamble 4 times a month. Like the same $800 you giving to the casino, I spend it on, you know what I'm saying, Tatuaje. Right. You know? How long you been smoking cigars, bro?
Man, be honest, probably about 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
4 or 5 months.
Yeah, we gonna have to get you all the way right.
Oh yeah, man. You know that I'm always open. I'm always coachable.
What are some of the things you look for when you're picking a bar? When you and your friends or you and your lady together and y'all just vibing and you just like, I mean, y'all wanna go have a drink? Like, what are some of the things you look for when deciding what bar to go to?
Well, I ain't gonna lie, my ex, God rest her soul, she ain't dead, but she dead out of my life right now. But she told me about Google reviews. That's one thing, Google reviews, you know, because they do help. you know, and Google reviews, and also I guess the environment, the type of individuals that's going in there.
Yeah, because that's my question. Like, you got to know what you're looking for the reviews to help you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What do you like from a bar?
Well, from a professional standpoint, I like, young professionals. I like to be around amongst like-minded individuals. I mean, we may not have the same taste or we may not have the same interests, but as long as I know that you're trying to do something with your life and I'm doing something with mine, that makes us alike. And
networking is important to you.
Right, networking is key. Because, I mean, you can have $1 million and not know nobody and get nowhere and have no money and know everybody and make it happen. So,
yeah, they call that social capital.
Right. So, I mean, the environment, people, of course, staff, once you get in there, just the friendly gist of staff. Like I said earlier, customer service, having a good rapport, and being able to generate and build a good rapport with people. Because one thing I hate about bars and I hate about places, you go a place and you build a rapport with a certain bartender, you build a rapport with a certain staff, and then you go back and they're gone and they got somebody new.
Well, bartenders typically tend to have a short shelf life because all bartenders aren't professional bartenders. Right. Some of them still.
Right.
I know bartenders that have worked every restaurant in the Tri-County area. You know what I'm saying? They can't keep a job, but they can't keep their hands to themselves.
Right.
Or they just have bad attitudes.
Right.
But yeah, said, never scared said, he's been a big supporter of Good Spirits ever since he found out about it.
Man, Said is a good brother, man. Like, anything that's genuine in nature, he gonna come and support it. And even when I met you, I can just tell the vibe and the energy that you had. You know what I'm saying? We didn't really know each other like that.
Yeah.
But it's just I'm an avid, I guess the old people call it discernment.
Yeah.
But I call it energy. You know what I mean? And you had great energy, man. You had phenomenal energy.
Well, I was raised with some sense.
Right.
And that's all it takes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was raised with some sense. I wasn't brought up, I was reared.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So every time someone gives me a compliment like that, I always tell my mother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it be like that though, man. Me just like in the Bible it say, train up a child in the way it should go. When you get older, you won't depart from that. A lot of people have not departed from their ways because they wasn't trained up right. They was trained fucked up.
Yeah.
Trained all fucked up.
They were made like that. That's why my social media is kind of bland. Cause like most of my photos is just me smoking cigars.
Right.
But like, I don't on a day-to-day basis, and I bartend, so
right.
Of course I got pictures of me bartending on.
But even if you had 100,000 followers, you are you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like crazy, but just like the cartoon with Pete Parker, Uncle say with great power comes great responsibility. When you have great social awareness, you still have to be the person that you are. You can't change and try to be something else for the people. You know what I mean?
My buddy calls that social grace.
Right.
Keep your manners about you everywhere you go.
Right.
Social grace. You don't want to be the person in the room that everybody hates to see coming.
Right. My uncle say, I always tell me that respect can carry all over the world.
Yeah, respect can get you in doors
all
the
over
can't
the world.
open.
So right. Money can't open.
Neighborhood.
Nothing. It can't open. It can't open.
Yeah.
That's real talk.
The content of your character can get more for you than anything untangible that you have.
Right.
And anything tangible that you have.
Right, definitely. And I think that's why just the professionalism that you displayed to me, personally and just professionally.
Well, thank you,
I think that's why.
Don't give me too much credit. I did
no, man,
30 minutes.
You ain't gonna disappoint me, man. You are what you are, You are what you are. But I feel like that's why you've accomplished thus far, with your endeavors because, because you're indoctrinated on what you are. You know what I mean? And there's no changing it. We are what we are, man.
I thank you for saying those kind of words, but I can only be me.
Right.
I'm the best me I can be.
No lying.
All right, so you say you started off just being a youngster drinking just the vodkas and the vodkas and vodkas. Have you ever been hammered before?
Man, let me tell you something. And this is crazy, and I know only people that can tell this story are the people I went to school with. I went to Houston Tillerson. It was Houston Tillerson College at the time in Austin, Texas. I went there for like one semester, and but it's Houston Tillerson University, HBCU.
Yeah.
I got so drunk that I ain't gonna front it. I was grabbing on a girl. I ain't gonna lie, I grabbed her ass, and he knocked me the fuck out. Like I didn't get knocked out like I was cold out, but I felt it, and I was drunk. And I swore to myself, and I was just, man, I was fucked up. I was fucked up and everything. I swear to God, like, true story. And I promised myself that I would never get fucked up like that again. To the fact where I could be responsible for myself, drive myself home, and be responsible for my own actions. There was one time I just got fucked up where I had no control.
Oh yeah, you did good. You only did it one time. Like I got repetitive stories. most of my friends have stories.
Hey,
like
look, man,
that.
when you gotta go to a college campus with shit over your eye like that, man, it wasn't embarrassing, but it was a wake up call. For me. Like I can't do that.
Okay. And look where you are now.
Yeah. So thank God to my mom.
TV producer.
Right. Yeah.
Tell me about the show and tell me about the idea for the show and how you came up with it.
Regime, man. Regime. Okay. Well, Regime is a episodic crime drama series that's based on the criminal aspect and the personal account of a gentleman by the name of Frank Matthews. Frank Matthews was a young black brother out of Durham, North Carolina.
Okay.
He transitioned from Durham to Brooklyn, New York, and he became basically a numbers runner. And that's how a lot of black gentlemen back in the late 60s, early 70s made their money by running numbers. Gambling, basically gambling ring. So he basically sought after joining the Italian Italian mafia. The
Italian guy in the mob.
He tried to work for them.
Okay.
As a numbers runner, he tried to, get into the mob and work with them closely, but they rejected him. So basically, he turned that rejection into becoming the most powerful, most biggest drug trafficker in USA history. Like the only two drug traffickers, respectfully, that are bigger than him, Pablo Escobar and El Chapo. But they're not even domestic because the product that they have is import.
Yeah.
So domestically.
So he was the largest distributor of drugs in North America.
In North American history.
Well, I apologize because.
Well, it was.
Them boys from North America too.
Well,
America,
USA.
Sometimes I be forgetting Canada and Mexico and North America.
Yeah, North America. You think about the U.S.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the U.S.
But respectfully, he was the largest drug trafficker in USA history. And I don't want this story just to be a story about another drug dealer, another dope boy. He was more than that. He was a businessman. He was the first black man to implement vending machines as a way to launder funds. Yeah. Like that was a large amount of laundering money funds. He had car shops, real estate. So he was a businessman. Just unfortunately and sadly, his larger endeavors stimulated
that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Because you look at American history, the prohibition was the same thing. Yeah. Like your Kennedys and your Ross, everybody.
Yeah.
The only way Chris Rock got a comedy routine where he say every fortune is built off crime, some form, way or another.
Right. And he wasn't a selfish. He always looked out for his people. He was a good guy. Like this guy was so respected, and he had so much power. And he was so feared. Like he never carried a gun. Never. His family.
He was so feared that he never carried a gun. The most harmless person in the room.
I'm
gonna tell you something. A good friend of mine named Jesse, he's talking about life aspirations and goals. And he was talking about how mindset can make you the person that you are. He said, why is the lion the king of the jungle? The elephant's bigger, the giraffe's taller, buffalo, bison, deer have horns that they can pierce the lion with. Why is the lion king of the jungle? Attitude.
Right.
When the lion see the elephant, he see lunch. When the elephant see the lion, he get scared.
Right.
That makes sense?
That makes perfect sense.
That is like when you get that kind of power and respect, what you need a gun for? Ain't nobody gonna mess with you no way.
This guy was so crazy. Paul Castellano, the head of the Gambino family. Mm-hmm. And we know if we're an avid history study and crime study, Paul Castellanos, John Gotti killed Paul Castellanos at 89 to take the head of the Gambino family. And back then.
I only know because of the movie.
Well, yeah. Well, Paul Castellanos was the head of the Gambino family. In order to kill another mob member, you need permission from the family. John Gotti was so powerful in '89. John Gotti killed Paul Castellanos and didn't ask for permission from the family. He assumed the head of the Gambino family, and the rest of the family just let him go ahead.
Yeah. They didn't want to be next.
They didn't want to be next. Frank Matthews stayed right across the street from Paul Castellanos in Tote Hill, New York, in an all-white neighborhood. One black brother, I ain't gonna say the other word, but one black brother stayed in an all-white neighborhood in front of the head of the Gambino crime family in 1970, in the early 1970s, and dared them to touch him, and he didn't have any problem with it. Like, matter of fact, it's noted that Paul Castellanos and the Gambino family was actually taking pictures and making crime reports to turn it to the U.S. government to get Frank Matthews adjudicated by the government.
He sounds like a very interesting fella. Like, with that being said, like, when the series drops, I'll watch it. Right. I'm gonna sit right here and watch it.
Well, I appreciate that.
Now, I was gonna ask you why, but your answer to how did you get your idea for the show was so in depth that I'm gonna skip that part because you've answered that thoroughly.
Right.
How is this relatable to you to make you even want to do it?
Right. Well,
like, you came up with the idea, but it has to be relatable because you were intrigued with the idea of it.
Well, Frank Matthews came from Durham, North Carolina. I came from Jackson, Mississippi.
Still South?
Deep South. Rural South. I would say that compared to other cities, Jackson is definitely rural.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, we're the capital, but Jackson is not a metropolitan city. We're a large town.
At all, a large town.
Yeah, we're a large town.
So I mean, definitely and I was raised by my aunt. Excuse me. With all respect to my mother, I was raised by my aunt. Frank's mother died at a young age, and the mother assumed responsibility of Frank because when the mother was of age, she raised her sister, which is Frank's aunt. So when Frank's mother passed, Frank's aunt took the responsibility of being his mother. So that was the only person that he listened to.
That's my sister's child.
Correct. That's my sister's child. And that was the only person that he listened to everything she said do. It's the only person.
You know what it is? That's trust.
Trust.
That's trust.
And you know what? She got indicted by the U.S. government, and she never said a word. She got off on a court technicality.
Let me ask you a question. Because you studied this young man, I'm willing to bet that he didn't drink. Was he a drinker?
Man, Frank was an avid cocaine user and an avid drinker.
Okay.
He loved Vegas. He loved white women. You know, he felt. I don't think he fell victim to the life, but I felt like he fell victim to the lifestyle of the life.
Yeah.
Because he was always still smart, but the lifestyle of the life helped him get a little closer to getting caught or making mistakes.
Okay.
But he never made mistakes, but the lifestyle. Because I mean, this thing is a lifestyle right here. When you're in, just imagine, just walk with me for a second.
Okay. You said pay attention.
Pay attention. Just walk with me for a second. You're in the 1970s. You're a big drug trafficker. You know the biggest drug trafficker. In basically, you got 24 states on lock. You got people like Nicky Barnes and people like Frank Lucas who got 1 or 2 states. You have literally, 50 states in this country?
Yeah. You
have 24 of those states on lock, hands down.
Yeah.
Everybody in Vegas.
We just gonna call it 50%. We ain't worry about the decimal.
You have 50% of the U.S. locked on heroin and cocaine in this country. A black man from Durham, North Carolina. And you're going to Vegas spending $50,000, $100,000. You're fronting your friends $60,000, $80,000 in product. And when they come back to you with $80,000, you have the arrogance to tell them, if you broke, motherfucker, keep it. So you're telling your friends that you just gave them $80,000 worth of product. When they return the money to you, you're forgetting about it. They having to hound you down about giving you your $80, and you are so arrogant that you're telling them, stop fucking calling me about this money. If you broke, motherfucker, keep it. That's the arrogance that he perpetuated.
Yeah, that's always been the downfall of many people.
So that just
I was at a store one time buying beer. This is bar talk. And a guy, I couldn't have been no more than 19, Jack State. Guy got out of an S600 Benz. I remember because just, I'm a guy, girls, guns, and cars. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man. And I ended up behind him in line. And he gave the cashier his money, and his change was a penny. And he stood, like the cashier closed the drawer. He stood there. And she was like, sir? He was like, you owe me a penny. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want a penny. You know what I'm saying? Right. At that moment, that was the moment when I realized the same things you do to acquire wealth, you have to maintain it to keep wealth.
Right, you do.
Like, this dude just pulled up in a $120,000 car. And he looks immaculate, you know what I'm saying? Like, I damn near asked him for a phone number. And I'm testing. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? 19 years old, I'm watching you pull up in a $120,000 car, and you're standing at the register like, you owe me a penny. Like, I want my change. Like, that's mine. Like, you can't take that from me. Like, you owe me a penny. I want money.
And that's respected. Like, it's his. Like, allow him the opportunity to say he don't want that. Or allow him the opportunity to say,
give somebody who's short.
Right.
A penny.
Don't
take my money from me.
Right. Don't take it. And I think that's the respect aspect that Frank told it.
And when we talk about bars, I ain't gonna say their names, so don't back me up on this without saying their name. The place that we were at last night.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna just reach out on a limb and I'm gonna go with 6. About 6 years ago, I paid my tab, and the young lady brought me my dollars back, but she didn't bring me my coin change. She was like, "Oh, we don't give change back." The fuck? Like, what you mean? Like, you owe me 73 cents.
Right.
Like, give me all my. I'ma decide if I'm gonna tip you. Don't take my money from me.
I could have kept the change and gave you a 20.
Type of shit.
Right.
I tip stupid. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the bar. I just gave you my 20 years spiel. I've been bartending so long, man. I tip stupid. You know.
So you know how I feel.
People like to see me coming. You know.
How I feel.
I've literally walked in establishments and people have. I've seen the huddle where they like, "No, I got Sean tonight." Like, "No, you had him last time." Like, "Nah, well, fuck that. He's sitting in my section." Well, fuck that. You can get one of my tables. I'm gonna go get them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just stupid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that day, I wanted my 73 cents. Like, she took it from me and didn't let me give it to her.
Right. Then allow you the opportunity.
I felt some type of way about that.
You should. I mean, it's yours. Damn, it's 3 cents. It's yours.
All right, so let's talk about this Elijah Craig here. Tell me what you think about it.
Man, I think it's a smooth bourbon. I don't think it's too harsh, because usually when you like some drinks.
We had Jack on the last episode.
Jack, well, I ain't gonna lie. You know what? Jack is a good brand, but I think people would pick Jack over Elijah Craig because of the name.
Okay.
You know.
We still blinking?
Yeah, I have my finger. Y'all got 1 minute.
Well, I mean, people would pick Jack over Elijah Craig because of the name, but Elijah Craig is actually a phenomenal drink. And I'm not just saying that because we sit here and you're asking me about it, but it's actually a phenomenal drink. And I can actually feel it already. That's the most important thing.
And we've been slow sipping.
Slow. I'm talking
with
real
the
slow sipping. With the stick. So you have all that filter and you still feel it.
And we got to get 30% of that to the cigar.
Yeah. Well,
kinda. Maybe, sorta, almost, just a little bit.
But that Elijah Craig,
that shit work.
That shit work. Anyway, I'm not saying this shit. I'm not long live the kings and the queens. I'm not saying that shit because we here and he asking me about it. Like, I'm like genuinely. Like, that Elijah Craig, it actually is good. Like, it's a phenomenal bourbon. very smooth. It's not rough going down. It doesn't burn. I mean, it's a phenomenal, smooth, conversational piece.
Yeah. We had a decent conversation.
Right.
Without getting thrown.
Right. For ladies and gentlemen alike. Correct.
There's a lady drinking Elijah Craig with us.
Right now.
That's off camera.
And got mad because we didn't hurry up enough for her to
Oh,
come
she's
up
like,
with
cut
her.
the camera off.
Oh, no. See, I'm going to tell her.
her.
She don't want me to tell it, but I'm going to tell it. I'm going to tell it like Job tell the gospel, the truth.
See, what had happened was.
Y'all need to hurry up.
And you know when a story started off like that, everybody do like that. When that other motherfucker leaned out to see what had happened was, motherfucker go.
When you start breathing heavy,
Yeah.
that's how you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, when she started breathing heavy over there, I said, yeah. I said, I know what time that is.
Then I want you to take this time and tell the people where they can find you at and how to get in touch with you.
Well, first of all, man, I really would like to thank you, Good Spirits, Beveraging Service, just for having me on. I mean, you've been a candidate host, and I mean, as long as I got to do anything with you, as long as we still talking, I definitely want to.
Man, I got the same friends I've been had since high school.
Right. And I definitely want
when I make a friend, they're a friend.
I definitely want to implement you in some type of, far as in when we get to the particular part of showing, first episode or any type of events, I definitely want to involve Good Spirits. So, I mean, first of all, I would just like to say thank you.
Shit, I go to Georgia. Tank, we'll go to Georgia.
Yeah.
We'll go to Georgia.
So, I definitely want to appreciate you for, inviting me out. But yeah, you can find me at my personal, the show page at Regime_TV series. That's going to be REGIME_TV series. Or you can go to BVC Films. That's B as in boy, V as in Victor, C as in cat, films.com, and it would redirect you to the Instagram page for the television series, because right now I have PR and everything developing the show page because of the type of parties that's involved. And my personal page on Instagram is A_list LIST_celeb CELEB. So it's A-list. It's A-list celeb. It's A_list_celeb. So I just want to thank Good Spirits again for allowing me the opportunity to come on to the show. Anytime I have an opportunity to talk and to build with another brother that's doing his thing and has his own brand, I definitely want to try to be a support.
Yeah, I'm in year 9.
Right.
I'm in year 9.
Well, we're gonna.
I got a whole 8 calendars behind.
Well, we're gonna talk about you being in year 30. Let's talk about you being in year 30.
Shit, I'm in year 30. I did it wrong.
I mean,
I'll pass it off to somebody.
Nah, what I'm saying, but you'll still be in year 30 because you still be reaping the benefits off of it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I respect that.
So we're gonna get to that.
Nigga, that concrete be tearing my knees up.
Oh, it's okay. It's all that money ain't gonna tear your knees up. When you walk a Bank Plus, a truck model reason, they ain't gonna tear your knees up then. They got concrete too.
I'm an avid Bank Plus supporter.
Hey, well, when you get your ass out your car, you walk on that concrete, you go in there and catch that chick, you ain't gonna think about it. And she damn sure ain't gonna think about it when she get out of her car and go to the ATM. So, we love concrete. Let's say we love concrete.
I love concrete.
Okay, we love concrete. But again, bro, real talk, Good Spirits, Elijah Craig.
That was genuinely funny.
Hey man, real talk. Hey, keep this. Don't edit this out.
Hey, I'm over here tickled.
Hey, well, man, keep this. Good Spirits, Elijah Craig. I thank you all for the opportunity.
And that all worked.
Yeah.
That all worked.
Like we say down in New Orleans, that Earl
all worked.
That all worked, you hear me? So,
you done gave me the hiccup.
Hey man, real talk, man. But I just appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks. You done gave me the hiccup. I'm over here laughing at him.
Hey man, this shit is natural. You guys, I've been preparing for this for a while. You know what I mean? So it's natural for me. So I mean, again, Good Spirits, Elijah Craig, I just appreciate the opportunity because you could have said no and you could not even told me about it. Shout out to my I gotta do. Shout out to my team, man. Shot by Luis, my cousin Lloyd Ross, my writer Marcus. Shout out to my money guy Centel, Jason Mitchell, Anthony Mackey, Hank Strong, Sam, everybody that's involved with the Regime Project. My lawyer, Mark A. Baker. I just appreciate everybody, man, for sticking with me. Shout out to the Frank Matthews family, Marcoma, the Carter family for Mr. James Carter, Zenobia. Shout out to everybody, man. Andre.